We've all been with people that we liked them, we felt like we had a good connection with them, but we didn't feel that urgency. We didn't feel that priority. When they would text us, we would look at their text message and it never felt that crack compulsion to text them back. But then all of a sudden one day you start noticing that they're being a little distant. One day you start noticing that maybe they're not responding as fast. One day you start noticing that they're not prioritizing you as much. You get that creeping feeling, that soft whisper in the middle of a noisy room. You start to hear it. And then all of a sudden, something in you wakes up like a brush with death. And all of a sudden now you want to prioritize them. All of a sudden in your mind, all of a sudden they look so much greater than they were before. Now you're chasing, now you're texting, now you're initiating more contact. Now you are prioritizing them when you didn't before. This is similar to a brush with death. Sometimes our complacency, our overexposure to the other person naturally causes a deadening of our appreciation for them. And these are moments that we've all experienced where we thought we didn't feel that much for this person, but then they do something and then all of a sudden there's a rush, there's a waterfall of emotion churning up within us that causes us to prioritize them above everything else, right? And that's what we're going to talk about, how to do that, right? Because a lot of you guys are sitting on treasure that you just haven't looked into. And the reason why is because you are doing things that causes you to not be prioritized. Here you go. So people are wasting time with you because you just don't give them a sense of urgency. Sometimes you have to wake them up with outside pressure. Appeal to their emotions, make them realize your value. Place yourself in an ungraspable position and they'll sense the urgency and prioritize you. You have to become ungraspable. Even though they're with you, you want to become ungraspable. You want to become like a perfect example of an ungraspable person is an independent voter, right? You have people who vote for one party their whole lives. These are the Melissas of the world. The people who only vote for one color, right? For one party. Then you have the independents that they'll sway and they'll vote for multiple parties depending on who they get. And what do most politicians work to? They don't work to win over the people from their own party. You're really preaching to the choir, right? You're trying to win over the other party, the middle ground people, and you want to be that person, right? And there are ways that you could be this person while being fully and 100% committed to this person. Let's talk about how to do that, right? Because if you give them a situation, a relationship that is relaxed, a relationship where they feel no fear of losing you, no tension, what will happen is that they will let themselves go and they're gonna just stop prioritizing you. And one day you'll look at them and realize they're not the person you went out with. So how do you do this? Well, I'm gonna show you guys a very interesting way to do this. This is something that I discovered the other day. Not the other day, but I've kind of known about this. But for some reason, I never really realized how powerful it is. And that's spiritualizing the relationship. Sex and spirituality, unfortunately, go hand in hand, people. It's just how that is, man. Like, holy dick is something else, right? Holy pum pum is something else, right? But that's more culty. This one is more about spiritualizing it. Speaking of destiny, speaking of the universe, or even with Christians, letting them know how God brought you guys together, spiritualizing it and giving it a sense that there's something outside of ourselves that is pushing us together. Will naturally let the person relaxed. They'll stop being self-conscious, right? Because the spiritual gets us out of our bodies. The spiritual gets us to stop thinking of ourselves and thinking of greater destiny. This causes a person to fall in love with you a lot faster than anything else. Honest to God. It's like if you date, for example, an example of that. Imagine you date someone. Let's just give you an example, and you're convinced that you knew them in the past life, for example, right? Or you're convinced that God brought you guys together, right? If you actually love this person, the belief that an outside spiritual force brought you guys together will bind you deeper with this person than the thought that you guys met by pure chance. Motherfuckers, if you met by chance, say God brought you guys together. Okay, this is the evilest thing, people. Or even saying how the universe, right? Or even spiritualizing the physical, right? Not just having sex for the sake of it. You're having tantric sex, right? Not just cuddling for the sake of it, right? You spiritualize every point of the relationship. And when you mix the physical with this, people, I don't know what to say, man. Like, I don't you. And the funny thing is, you guys can do this with anything, right? And women is one. And women are the most vulnerable to this. To be honest with you, what I've learned, using the what's Aquarius thing, the fucking star shit, astrology, speaking of destiny, talking about how your energies are aligned. Like, man, I just hate the fact that people really, people really believe in this type of stuff, man. I remember one time, this one girl said like, oh my God, we're both Virgos. We're meant to be together. We're a perfect match. And I'm not gonna lie, the day before I did shrooms and I had it, and I felt like the universe was gonna bring me someone, right? I'm looking at this girl, I'm like, okay, I felt that too. This is years ago. I was like, okay. And when I broke up with her, because she gave me the psycho eyes, I remember her just saying, but what about the universe? I believe it's so true. This girl it took her months. Honestly, she was the longest person that took her the longest to get over me. I'm not a hard to get over people, by the way. It's not hard to get over Father Alex, trust me. If you know me, you were like, okay, it's not that hard. But just because you thought it was this like universal linking up, God forbid if we had the same birthdays, I mean, that would have been it, you know? So find ways to bring the spiritual into this. Like just find ways to do it, or even mix in some spiritual rituals with the person. Go to yoga together, make the habit of meditating together, make the habit of having spiritual trips where you guys go to a certain destiny because that's where you guys met, or go to the restaurant where you guys met because I feel the connection is harder there, is more strong there. People, this works, dude. Even if you're a dude, if somebody does this on you, this works. Let me see. I'm trying to think of one that was similar that actually happened. Oh yeah, with this one girl where I really felt a spiritual connection. People, it wasn't even a lie. Like I was like, yeah, I feel a spiritual connection with you, And I remember I fell for her. I really did, and she fell for me. Like. And we both really believed we had a similar spiritual energy. She believed that I had something I had to offer, and also she had something that she had to offer, right? And because it was more spiritual, it elevated the relationship. It really did. Like I'm gonna talk about this in the Robert Greene book club, because it talks about this too. But it's really I want to warn you, be careful with this.
All right, guys, we're gonna have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing, where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my folk dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.